where here's this like insane experience, and it's going to make you a better person, make you appreciate life. But man, this movie is so good. I think it's fantastic, and I just really love how it's just nonstop. Once the quote game gets going, and man, just having it on in the background right now, like when Rehorn like gets shot in the cafeteria, it's brutal.
Yeah, it's so strange, especially when you watch it through the lens of knowing where it's going. You're like, I can't believe these security guards are even armed with these kind of weapons, and they're so quick to fire on innocent people in a room.
In a very crowded cafeteria.
Yeah, just firing rapidly. And if Nick wasn't like, yeah, he had taken Christine hostage, but he hadn't hurt anybody yet.
Yeah.
And they're trying to, well, supposedly kill him and end up, maiming a few other people in the process.
Yeah. No, one thing I want to shout out is the score is awesome.
Howard Shore, that's right.
Howard Shore, yeah, his teaming up with them from Seven.
Howard Shore also did Zodiac, right?
Yeah, he does Zodiac, right? I was just about to say he did the Zodiac score as well. And I also want to shout out Harris Saviti's cinematography, which is awesome.
He's did he pass away?
Yeah, he passed away in 2012. Unfortunately, he had brain cancer, which sucks. But he was a good cinematographer. He worked a lot with Gus Van Sant. He shot Finding Forrester. He shot Milk. He worked with Noah Baumbach. He shot Greenberg. Shot Margot at the Wedding. Sofia Coppola. He did Somewhere in the Bling Ring for her. And speaking of, he also did the cinematography for American Gangster.
Wow, all comes full circle.
Yeah. And then, unfortunately, yes, passed away from brain cancer. I think he shot, you mentioned he shot Zodiac, but I think he did the opening credits for Seven as well.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't the real cinematographer for Seven. I believe that was Darius Kanji, but Saviti shot the opening credit sequence.
Which is rad.
The notebooks and the shaving the skin off of the fingers, off to the fingertips.
Yep.
So you mentioned, it opens in mid-September of 97. So we're just past the 24th anniversary. Wow. Damn, dude. I feel fucking old. I saw this movie in the theater, like, opening week.
Wow.
Yeah. I was so pumped to see it, and I remember, like, just loving it when I watched it. But, yeah, that was 97. Jesus. I think it opens number one.
Yeah, because it made $14 million in its opening weekend.
Yeah.
But it seemed like it just lost steam because it only made about 33 in the States, right?
Quick check. 48 million domestically, and then another 60 overseas.
Oh, okay.
So just over 100 million, but the budget was 70.
Yeah.
So yeah, they don't recoup a lot. So, I mean, you said in the introduction, like, it does fairly well with critics. It opens up at number one. I don't know why. I don't know if it was, kind of left some people cold, or, is the type of movie that people just didn't want to see. I mean, it had me at, hey, the guy that directed Seven. And I was really excited for it because I love Seven. But it's kind of a bummer. It might be. I'll have to see like what Zodiac makes. But it might be his lowest grossing film, at least in the States. like I said, it's one of, I think, his most underrated, and I think it's the one that a lot of people don't know about. I know that Douglas really likes it. He says he was stoked on it because he says it's like one of those films where you can't really guess the ending.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's going until you get to the end, until you get to that climax.
It's impossible to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, where it's taking you.
Yeah, it's unpredictable. And according to Douglas, he says that's like one of those movies that people come up and always talk to him about. So it does have its fans out there somewhere.
The film is recognized, but the problem is that it's just not recognized as a Fincher film for whatever reason. Is that people are unaware that he did this one, you know?
Yeah, I think part of its problem is the two movies he does that bookend this are, you know, much more well known. You know, Seven was this monster hit.
Yeah.
That kind of established him, and then Fight Club is a very zeitgeisty movie that kind of captures that end of the millennium feel, you know, and is much more ingrained in pop culture.
Definitely.
And it's a shame because this movie, you know, is so goddamn good. But it's kind of a bummer that it doesn't get the love I think it deserves. So what are your thoughts? I know Fincher's kind of meh on it.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's because it was just craziness from the beginning. I think he didn't have a great time making the movie. It sounds like he was fighting with the studio, kind of like what happened with him on Alien 3. He was fighting with the studio and then just didn't have a fantastic time making it. I don't think he hates this movie the way he hates Alien 3. It just sounds like he had kind of a rough time.
I know I did read that he thought that maybe after making the movie he regretted taking the project because his wife told him not to do it, and he felt like maybe he wasn't the right director for that type of story, and that the ending, I think he wanted his ending to be better or something like that. That he felt like the final act was like he dropped the ball a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Which
I disagree with him, but you know, I'm not the guy who made the movie.
Yeah.
His wife, we should point out, has been his producer on I think all of his films, with the exception of maybe Alien 3, maybe 7 as well. But I know that she's produced all of his other films. So let's get your take on things, Wesley.
Okay.
And your take on Fincher and where that stands.
So Fincher, obviously, I'm a huge fan. I love his work. He's one of my favorite kind of more contemporary directors. I was too young to see this in the theater, but I did watch it on VHS when it came out. Probably the first week that it came out, and surprisingly, at that age, I remember liking this movie and completely understanding it, and it kind of blew my mind. But as far as Fincher films goes, it's definitely not my favorite, and I'll have to disagree with you as far as Dragon Tattoo. I really love, and I can see why it didn't gel with you.
Yeah, and again, I'll state, like, it's not that I dislike the movie at all.
Yeah.
I really do enjoy it. It's just, if I had to rank them, that would probably be, you know, much, much lower on the list than all of his other films for me.
I guess not, and it's important to say this, that I'm not shitting on the game, but that's kind of how I feel about the game, as far as like not from a filmmaking standpoint or from a movie standpoint, but just Fincher and what he's done.
Yeah.
Because this one's so different that it's just like it's great, but it's not my favorite, I guess.
No, that's fine. That's totally fair. Like I said at the top of the show, this is my hot take. I'm probably in the minority on that. But for me personally, it's probably a top 3, definitely a top 5 Fincher. And I know Fincher hasn't made a whole lot of films.
Yeah.
But that, like I said, I'm in the minority. I know that when we were talking off air after we wrapped with Road to Perdition, CJ made a strong case for The Social Network being in the top 3.
Yeah.
And I don't disagree with that. If I'd say, okay, well, that's top 3, then the game is definitely top 5. And if I put the game in the top 3, then, The Social Network is probably number 4. So I don't disagree, and I don't, I'm not going to shit on anyone else's opinion, because like I said, I'm probably in the minority in that sentiment that the game is, for me, like a top 3 Fincher movie.
Yeah. The same way that you like your favorite Tarantino film is Jackie Brown.
Yeah. Which is another film that has its definite fan base, but I don't think the majority of people would say that that's the best, or even put that in their top 3. Those people are wrong, though.
Yeah.
With Jackie Brown. We can get into that another time, though. But no, good. Tell me more about Fincher and your assessment of it if you still have not finished.
I think that the film is done really well. Obviously, the way that Fincher is he's always great at creating like this master class of when he takes you into a movie, whatever it may be, the subject matter. But talking about the final act, I just wish it was, since he made the film where it was a little bit longer, the ending for me felt a little rushed.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little bit, where we didn't really get to see the progression of Nick's character the way that I wanted to, and it was just like this kind of somewhat cut and dry ending where it's like, yeah, like it was all fake, and then here you go, like everything's okay now,
Mm-hmm.
And even if it wasn't for that much longer, I just would have liked a little time jump to see where everything kind of went, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. What's the time frame of this movie, roughly? What do you think that is? A week?
Is it? Why would it? If it's that long, then why would they be having his birthday party so late after his real birthday?
Well, I don't know, because the movie starts out on his birthday. That is his birthday.
Yeah, because he goes to work in the morning.
First meet them.
And he's in the office, and everyone's kind of scared of Nick, and they're like, "Hey, your ex-wife's on the line or something," and then he's like, "Yeah, I know who she is," or whatever, right? And,
yeah.
And she's like, "Happy birthday," and so we know it's his birthday. But then, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that's his actual birthday, and then there's some kind of a time lapse because he is at work. He doesn't sign up for CRS right away. It's almost like an afterthought to him until he happens to be in the building on official business, and then is walking through the lobby and sees the CRS setup in the lobby.
Oh, that's right, because that it's nighttime, and you can see he's like at home alone and he just has a sandwich and he's